President Trump is on a West Coast trip. He is in San Diego right now speaking to a group at the border wall. Let's listen in.
Walking on one side of the wall, and they would throw up bags of drugs that weigh 100 pounds. They would catapult it up and over the wall. And it was, I mean, we've had instances where people got hit on the other side because you don't see who's over there. So having the wall, though, it's more expensive, but it's the right thing to do. And people that have seen it, other countries are now coming, as you know, and they're studying the wall because other people are thinking about something. The only thing is I'm not sure that they can afford a wall like this. This is really, I will tell you at a certain point if I get their approval. We've had 3 of them already. They're coming and they're studying the wall. But I'll let you know if I can get their approval, I'll give that. Who asked that, Jeff? I'll give you that information if I can. I want to ask their approval first, okay? So that's pretty much it. The president of Mexico has been great. The soldiers who are right outside, we have a lot of soldiers right now. They've been great. 27,000, I think, is the number as of today. And this will be something very special. I want to thank Mark, and I want to thank Kevin, and I want to thank you. Really fantastic job they've done. The whole group. Border Patrol has been incredible. And the knowledge that you've imparted. Who would think this is what we had to do? But that's it. When you look down here, you'll see on a more flat area, this is fairly flat. You'll see what the wall looks like, and it's pretty impressive. If the cameras can look down here. And these are the real people. These are the workers that put up the wall, by the way. All of these guys, they don't do as much of that, but these guys do a great job, but we appreciate it, fellas. These are the ones that are here. Each one of these is considered a panel. When they said, how many panels are you going to put up?
Over 44,000 are in right now,
44,000 are already in. Each one of these, if you look, they're together. So each one of these, I think they have, so they would have, yeah, like 8 bollards. And each one of, so I guess it's mostly an 8 bollard. We also have some very sophisticated openings when you have to get the Border Patrol through or various people through to the other side. We have some really beautiful openings that work, I hear, really well. I hear we finally figured that one out, right? That was not an easy thing to figure out because of the weight. The weight it's tremendously heavy. But if you look down here, you'll see what the wall looks like. And the beautiful thing is that people are seeing that. We're not going to do, in another week, I understand, no more catch and release. We're not allowing people into the country at all anymore. Nobody's coming in unless they're coming in legally. They're coming in through a process. We have it covered between 27,000 Mexican soldiers. And really now the wall is starting to kick in very big. San Diego they were just thanking me for the wall we built in San Diego. It's like they said it's a difference of day and night. They actually said it's 100%. The only thing is we have to now expand it out. The only way they get through is to walk many, many miles in the opposite direction, one way or the other, and go around it. But going over it is impossible, is virtually impossible. But they were very, very happy with what we've done. So the days, and I tell you this very strongly, no more people can come in. We wanted Congress to help us. It would have made life very easy, and we still want them to get rid of loopholes, but we've done it a different way. We've done it with the help of Mexico. We've done it with the help of Border Patrol, and we've done it with the help of Kevin and all of you great people and Mark. We've done it a different way. We still want them to do it because it would be a little bit easier, but Congress wouldn't do it. When I say Congress, the Democrats just wouldn't do it. So now we have a world-class security system at the border, including the highest technology. I would think that there's no place like this anywhere. There's no place has anything like this or even close to it. Now, other places have guards, and unfortunately, they have machine guns, and they have electrified fences. You touch them and you get electrocuted. We don't do that. We don't do that. But this is something that is equally difficult to get across. Okay?
Can you explain what was here before? Was there fencing here?
Yeah, we had a very low fencing here. In fact, you were here before, I think. We had a very low fencing. It was like a sheet metal, and people would knock it over like just routinely, and we ripped it out. We have a lot of areas where we had that and even less than that, and then we have areas where we had nothing. We had some areas where we just had a pipe along the ground, and that sort of stopped cars or trucks, but they'd knock that out pretty quickly. So those are areas, but in this case we had, you saw it, it was sheetrock. It was like sheet metal, a very thin. used to build runways as just a form to build runways. And they had a lot of it left over years ago, and they put it up, but it would be knocked down on a daily basis. Tell them about that.
Can I offer, Mr. President? This is the same area we had the prototypes built. The president was here 18 months ago. We now have 24 miles of new primary and secondary wall in this sector. The difference that makes for us operationally is instead of 300 to 500 people crossing a day, we're now seeing 30 to 50. And combined with our partnership with Mexico, where people aren't being released into the U.S., the traffic in the sector has dropped dramatically. That's how your strategy is coming into play.
And the only way you get to 50 is they walk around the areas like this that aren't, we haven't sealed this up yet. We'll be sealing this up very shortly. Or in part of this, we have a gate. But the only way you get to 50, nobody's going over the wall. But where we are still building it, that's where they get the 50. We think it's going to be close to 100% in the end. I don't think anybody's, I guess maybe one of the greatest pole vaulters in history can get over the low one, but it's going to be very painful when they land, right?
Mr. President, it's been about 6 or 7 months since you declared a national emergency here at the border. Do you still consider the situation at the border, a national emergency?
Yeah, sure.
And how will you measure success? When will you withdraw that?
Well, I think really the success is going to be when the wall's built, when human traffickers can't go through. You can understand, Phil, right here, nobody's coming through this here. They got through here, they have to go through here. And they make a left turn up here in some place where they didn't have anything, and they drive into the country and usually go unnoticed. And if they are noticed, it's a big deal. It's a big chase goes on. I think that this is certainly a tremendous national emergency because of human trafficking, drugs, and people coming in illegally. And in many cases, those people have criminal records, and we don't want them in our country.
Will the troops be here indefinitely?
The Mexican troops?
No,
Indefinitely.
any US troops?
Well, we're lowering it down. As we build the wall, we can just about take all of the troops out, and Border Patrol takes over. Border Patrol's really been taken over now anyway. People are hearing about the wall, and they're not coming up nearly as much either. When you're in Guatemala, and by the way, I want to thank also Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador. The leaders of those countries have really been working with us very strongly. And in all fairness, they weren't at the beginning, but they are now. And in a couple of cases, in all cases, ultimately, we'll be doing the Safe Third agreements. We already have them. In certain instances, we already have them, and we're talking about that. But the thing is, when people see this, and it's, one of the reasons I'm doing it today, people see this and they say, hey, there's no reason to make that long journey up because we're not getting into the United States.
If I can jump in, Mr.
Yeah,
President.
please.
So to your point, although we've had a 43% decrease from May to August of this year, we're still 55% over last year. This is still a crisis. We've still got high numbers coming.
For the Mexicans who do want to come over illegally, is the administration doing anything to streamline immigration?
Well, if they come over illegally, they're not going to be able to get over. So they're going to try and come in so that if they want to try and come in, when the wall is built, it will be virtually impossible to come over illegally. And then we're able to take Border Patrol and put them at your points of entry where you need some extra help and extra protection. And we're able to do a lot of things. But the numbers now are way down. And as the wall goes up, literally as the wall goes up, the numbers go down. But also the Mexican soldiers have been incredible. They've really done a good job.
For the great Mexican citizens who want to come over legally, are we doing anything to
No.
streamline?
When they want to come over legally, we make it absolutely, in my opinion, it'll be easier. They'll have passes. They'll have whatever we're going to sign. That's being worked on right now. And the farmers won't be hurt at all when we have, as you know, we have many people coming over from Mexico and from certain other countries, and they're coming through legally or they're coming through with a work pass. And do you want to explain that, maybe?
Sure. I mean, our neighbors from Mexico, we have 400,000 across the border almost every day. We have two of the busiest points of entry in the entire country right here in San Diego, San Ysidro and Otay Mesa. So the border crossing cards for daily commerce, the longer-term visas for employment, those are going to continue to be issued for people who follow the lawful process.
You said in 2016, Mr. President, that Mexico was paying for the wall. Do you feel like you've kept that promise?
Well, they're paying for 27,000 soldiers, as you know. And I am so, we are all thrilled. Mexico has never done anything to impede people from pouring into our country. And now they're doing just the opposite. They've really been incredible. I also think it's good for Mexico because they're breaking up the cartels. The cartels were really a problem. If I took 5% tariff for 6 months, that pays for the entire wall. But at this moment, I don't want to do that. But if I charged a 5% tariff on Mexico with all of the cars and everything else that comes through in commerce for 6 months, that would fully pay for the wall. At this moment, I don't want to do that because I'm really happy with what Mexico's doing. Now, Mexico's doing this because they don't want to be tariffed. So you can figure that out any way you want. But if I wanted to, for a 6-month period, charge only 5%, that would pay for the wall. And you'd have money left over.
I mean, you say you don't want to do that right now, but is it still on the table?
If Mexico stopped helping us, that would be immediately on the table. And that would more than pay for the wall many times over, because it would be for certainly a lot longer. But we don't want to do that now because they have been fantastic. Mexico's never done anything to impede the people from coming in, and now they're doing yeoman's work. 27,000 soldiers on today. Yes.
Mr. President, there's been a great deal of turmoil at the Department of Homeland Security the last several months.
I don't think
pretty
there
much
has.
every person leading that agency is in an acting capacity. Are you
being
going to
fired
make?
because they weren't doing jobs, and some of them were there for a long
When
time.
will you make permanent appointments?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I can say I haven't announced it yet, but I'm very happy with many of the people there, and we'll be announcing things in the future. I mean, there were many people that were there for a long period of time, and I wasn't happy with the job they were doing. And who could be happy? They were there for many years. They weren't doing their job, and we've made some incredible replacements. And yeah, I'll be announcing permanence in the pretty soon. I like, Phil, I like having non-permanent to a certain extent. It gives me more flexibility. I like having acting. I like the word acting because it gives me great flexibility. But at a certain period of time, we'll be making permanent positions.
Is it unfair for the American people to expect some stability now?
No, I think we have tremendous
Especially if there's a
stability.
national
I think we have tremendous, I mean, that's the way you write, but I think we have tremendous stability. I think we've never had a border. When this is completed, there won't be a border anywhere that's a border like this. And a big beneficiary, frankly, is going to be Mexico. And one of the things that is happening, and I've heard it from the top echelons of Mexico, is they're breaking up the cartels. The cartels have been a disaster, and that's a good thing for Mexico because they have their own problems. No, we have acting people. And the reason they're acting is because I'm seeing how I like them. And I'm liking a lot of them very, very much. We also have people that I've let go that have been here for many, many years and have done a bad job, and I let them go. And if you call that turmoil, I don't call it turmoil. I really don't say that's turmoil. I say that's being smart. And that's what we do. And the structure that you see, I wanted to have you here because nobody would believe this unless they see it. I hope you're impressed. But nobody would believe it. This is top of the line. And I went to the General Semonite. I said, General, can we do a less expensive version? He said, yes, sir, but it won't be good like this. And he said, this is something that you can't cut through. You can't use welders to cut it. You can't cut it down. It's the real deal. And we can do less expensive, but it won't be like this. And I think you see that.